There is no need for the PS4 Pro and Xbox One S to exist. The thing about technology nowadays, that's available to the public anyway, is that it moves laterally. There's no such thing as an upgrade without a subsequent downgrade somewhere else anymore. Like the consoles have higher visual fidelity and better loading times, but you need an entire shipyard of storage space to contain the games, and obviously they cost more too. I just think it's a racket. We don't need these systems. There's been no news of a PlayStation V or Xbox Magnum, which would be great names for next-gen consoles, and you'll be back here when they're announced as such like, hot damn, Albino's a fucking oracle. PlayStation V is the Roman numeral for 5, obviously, and it would encourage people to disassociate with the Vita like Sony's wanted them to do for half a decade. Xbox Magnum is a revolver and a condom in one. It's the powerful punch Microsoft needs to try and claw its way back into the console war. Xbox Magnum. I mean, tell me you don't want to have intimate relations with that name. It's so sexy. I mean, Xbox has always been what I've called the vagina of someone I used to date. So the theme is consistent, while the vagina of whoever I'm currently dating is always my PlayStation. I want to do video game stand-up comedy at like a con or something. Established comedian jokes about video games in mainstream comedy are always so watered down so people who don't know shit about anything can understand them. Not me. Give me a knowing audience and I'll light that place up. Back to the initial topic, I'm not someone who wants next-gen consoles ASAP. We're doing better than fine with what we have already, although Nintendo could do with a DS that doesn't need to be modded in order to stream and record and doesn't cost 2 Switches to have said modification installed. By the way, I wish the Switch was still called the NX. Switch is an apt name for what it does, but NX just brought so much intrigue to the product. When Nintendo was like, introducing our latest project, codename NX, everybody was like, damn, that's cool. It sounds like a motorbike or a fancy sports car. People were like, yo, have you heard about the NX? And other people were like, no, but tell me immediately, what the fuck is that cool sounding thing? I'd laugh so hard if Microsoft unveiled their next codenamed console as the Xbox Magnum and got everyone into a tizzy over how sick that was, and then later they reveal the actual name like, introducing the Xbox Skidoodle! There would be riots. People would be so mad. Xbox Skidoodle? What? You can tell I wrote that part late at night when things like that are hilarious to me. If the PS4 Pro and Xbox One S are supposed to bridge a gap between 2 console generations, I don't want that gap bridged. I want to be blown the hell away with the difference. Don't ease me into it. That takes all the wonder out of it. Would any of us have freaked out over how incredible the PS3 looked in the beginning if they came out with a PS 2.5 a few years prior? But that really asks the question of whether technological advancements in gaming might be slowing way down in recent years, so they have to go the pro route because there aren't enough foreseeable improvements available to make in the next half-decade to justify a new generation. Yeah, there's VR now, but that shit's far from optimal, and if you play the non-VR versions of any of those games, it's clear that overall game quality remains unchanged. The novelty carries it, and in some situations like Skyrim and Doom, VR actually makes it worse of a game. I don't have VR, and I probably won't for years because you should give fledgling tech time to gradually fix itself rather than being subjected to its early imperfect frustrations. I have a love-hate relationship with game trailers. I've said before how I don't like when people recommend me things because it makes me not want to watch the thing because I'm vindictively insufferable. And so that even extends into when games recommend themselves to me. A trailer pops up and I'm like, you're being a little presumptuous, aren't you? Trotting up to my screen and trying to show off? When I'm in the PSN store hovering over a game and the trailer autoplays like Netflix, I'm actually offended. Like, excuse me? Who fucking said you could just start up in my face like that? Sit down and speak when you're spoken to. But when I do watch trailers to good games, I get emotional. I never understood where the idea of something taking your breath away came from until I inadvertently started giving myself more over to the joys of entertainment and art a few years ago, and now I'll watch a breathtaking trailer that actually sucks the air out of my mouth, and I have to pull that shit back in before I fall unconscious. I forget to breathe because I am enchanted and enamored by this encapsulating ensemble of enveloping expression. Enchilada. And then, of course, as I'm recovering from the positive trauma associated with what I've just seen, I'll browse YouTube comments underneath it and find things that sicken me to my core because you fucking unappreciative demons have to impose your unimpressed coolness on everyone scrolling through the list in this vulnerable state. Meh, looks dumb. What are those, PS3 graphics? You're a PS3 graphic! It's hard to impress me because I'm so cool. Would it impress you if I showed up at your front door and kicked the shit out of you with my hands in my pockets like an anime character, with the cigarette never falling out of my mouth the whole time until I drip some lighter fluid on your nearly lifeless body and then spit? Don't be cynical about nice things. The trailer to the Ori and the Blind Forest sequel made me and verifiable others cry, and I'm lucky enough to be able to freely say that without fear of mockery, because if any ass-breathers with pent-up feelings wanted to project their bottled-up garbage onto me, I'm experienced and confident enough to know it's a revealing display of emotional impotence. Yeah, make fun of my hard dick when you can't get your dick up. Damn, what a show of power. Why don't you pay another man in a white lab coat for the privilege of making love to your wife? You can't give her a cock-based orgasm without your doctor's approval. Viagra has apparently recently been made over the counter, or is going to be, but then you can only get 4 pills without a prescription, so enjoy having sanctions placed on how often you can fuck your dissatisfied bitch. If you're impotent watching this and you happen to be a nice person, I apologize. This isn't for you, but a widespread carpet bomb is going to have collateral damage and I must focus on eliminating the target. Of course, you put any modicum of effort into shutting someone like that down and then their go-to response is LOL triggered while they fight back tears behind their keyboard. Damn, looks like you can feel something. How about that? Video games are art. I'm not sure how it was ever argued that they weren't. Doodles in your 8th grade diary are art. You won't extend the same courtesy to a team of people who spend years drawing amazing scenery and characters, animating them and rendering them in 3D? No, yeah, video games aren't art, but Picasso putting 2 eyes on one side of some ugly bitch's face is. The idea that someone can look at a cutscene in like Uncharted 4 and then be like, yeah, sorry, it's just not as artistic as this painting of a bowl of fruit I saw in an art museum once. I mean, it was in an art museum, so it has to be art, right? I didn't see stills of this game in there. Imaginary people are so good at pissing me off. Anyway, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe, and put annoying video game opinions in the comments. And I'll see you guys next time.